They don't call it beauty sleep for nothing. It turns out a good night's rest can improve your looks, your metabolism, and so much more. Joining us with more on the benefits of a proper snooze is Dr. Melissa Milinak, licensed clinical psychologist and associate professor at MUSC's Department of Psychiatry and Behavioral Sciences. Great to have you.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
So we've been hearing about the benefits of a good night's sleep for a long time. Maybe you could just remind us exactly how important it is to our overall health.
Oh, sleep is important for so many different reasons. Obviously, for our body restoration, we know from our metabolism to our immune systems, which is definitely very important these days, very present of mind, but also for us psychologically, from our abilities with memory, attention, focus, concentration. We know that there's all these different aspects, but even just the ability to respond to challenges throughout the day.
How do people get into a better rhythm with their sleep?
One of the best things that we can really do for quality sleep is to have a set schedule 7 days a week. Now, you hear many people that are consistently inconsistent, and they have one schedule during the week and one on the weekends trying to catch up. But just the fact of if you missed one meal, you might be more hungry, but your body can only process so many calories. It's going to be the same thing with sleep. So consistently, the same bedtime and wake time 7 days a week really helps the body to get on that rhythm and to be able to allocate the right amount of time for their body to be able to repair and for psychologically for their mind to get that restoration and repair as well.
So sleep apnea, insomnia, big problems among people. What causes those conditions and how do you improve upon them?
So from a sleep apnea perspective, typically that's something we're going to see physiological, whether it's obstructive sleep apnea, so something that's obstructing the airway and impairing somebody's ability to get that air in. Central sleep apnea, where parts of the brain will impact people's, where they'll stop breathing for a few seconds. Typically, you go through a sleep study, people will utilize a CPAP machine or dental devices, depending on the severity. From an insomnia standpoint, there are lots of things that can impact that as well. Many times our behaviors and things that we're doing to try to help our sleep to get better can actually impair our sleep. So when we're taking those naps during the day, we're reducing our ability to sleep during the night. Just like your mom said, don't eat a snack, you ruin your dinner. Or if we're using a lot of caffeine, alcohol can have an impact, changing schedules, as well as anxiety and stress. It's really difficult to fall asleep when your mind is still running and racing.
Now you say to have a consistent sleep schedule 7 days a week. I, once upon a time, used to have to get up at 2 a.m. to get to work and be on the air by 4:30 in the morning. But then on the weekends, of course, I wanted to be with friends. I wanted to have some normalcy in my life. How do you maintain those two very different sets of sleep schedules and still come out of it a healthy person?
No, you hit a really great point, and that's something that we also see for a lot of our healthcare workers and first responders that have shifts on and off. It's very common. In an ideal world, we would keep as consistent of a schedule as possible. So even those days that you weren't having to get up that early, you still would, to help your body to keep that consistency. If it's something that's routine and you really see certain days on and off that are variable but consistently variable, then there are adjustments that can be made in terms of taking a quick power nap, maybe 20-30 minutes, to give a little bit of that jolt and that boost without completely throwing off your rhythm and helping the body to get in those schedules. Many times people will actually consult sleep experts and sleep specialists to help them to find the perfect rhythm for them, because each person also has a different amount of sleep that they need, and that does change over the course of our lives.
Do we need less sleep or more sleep the older we get?
So unfortunately, the older we get, the less sleep we need. And you'll hear so many people that are upset about that because we're younger and we're tired and we need the sleep, but we never seem to have the time. And then we've retired and we've earned it and we're waking up at 3 in the morning. But just in terms of how active we are, our body needs more sleep. And for the purposes of sleep, the older we get, that is something that we typically see a decline in the specific need.
And with the new year, how do people maybe start training themselves to get that better sleep? Should they keep a diary? What are some tips that you can give everyone? We've got about 30 seconds left that we can now set off on the right foot for the new year.
Well, of course, keeping that set sleep schedule 7 days a week, bedtime and wake time, reserving the bed for sleep. So not eating in bed or watching TV. We want our bed to connect, our brains to connect our bed with rest and relaxation and sleep, and really falling asleep versus being confused. Should I be awake right now or asleep? It's also a great idea that if your mind is running and racing, take a few minutes before bed during that wind down routine time and write down what's really running through your mind. Get that on the sheet of paper, set it on the nightstand before you get into bed so you're not taking your worries to sleep with you.
Fantastic advice. I want to thank you so much, Doctor, for joining us.
Thank you. Have a great day.
We're back after this.